Hayward Podworks. 100 shows, one vision.
Our sources explain it all. For more information on upcoming shows or to suggest shows, email brianhayward2026@gmail.com. And now let's get into our show. Hayward Podworks is vision, deep dives into any topic.
Welcome to the deep dive.
Yeah.
We're taking that whole stack of materials you sent over, the research, your notes, all of it, and we're boiling it down to the actionable core.
Mm-hmm.
And today we're diving into what I think is a critical quality. Relentless drive. It's what separates those who just survive adversity from those who actually, thrive because of it.
Right.
And when you really strip it all back, what gives us that capacity to keep going when things get tough? It seems to come down to persistence, perseverance, and perspective.
Yeah.
But really, it's all built on two key traits: grit and resilience.
That's it, exactly. And our mission for you today is pretty clear. We want you to get a really thorough understanding of the relationship between what we call the key trio.
The key trio.
Grit, resilience, and the third piece, the growth mindset. And what's so fascinating is that the data just shows, again and again, that these traits are often way more vital for success than, say, innate talent or raw intelligence.
So it's not what you're born with.
Not entirely. They aren't just useful. They're like multipliers. They make all your other skills actually count for something.
Okay, so where do we start?
Well, to lay the groundwork, we have to talk about the mind's basic operating system. You're essentially running one of two programs. There's the fixed mindset.
Right, the idea that your qualities are set in stone. You're either good at math or you're not.
Exactly. You're talented or you're not. End of story.
And the other one is the growth mindset.
Yeah.
This is the belief that you can develop your abilities through, dedication and hard work. That simple belief that I can get better at this, that's the bedrock.
Precisely. And if we accept that the growth mindset is the foundation, then grit and resilience become the tools you use to actually build the structure of your success.
Okay, let's unpack those tools then. Because you hear grit and resilience thrown around all the time, sometimes for the same thing.
Yeah.
But the sources draw a really clear distinction. Let's start with grit. What is it really, beyond just working hard?
Grit, at its core, is a mix of perseverance and passion, but it's directed toward meaningful long-term goals.
Okay, the passion component is key there.
It is. It's not just a fleeting emotion or, a brief obsession. It's about having this deep sense of direction and commitment that guides you over years, maybe even decades.
So it's not the intensity of the flame, it's the consistency of the heat. It's being able to stick with something even when it gets boring or just, really hard.
Absolutely. Because you know where you're headed. And this gets to the main point on grit. Talent without effort is just unmet potential.
Oh, like that.
Talent might help you learn fast, but success requires that applied effort over time. That's what turns raw talent into a real skill. Without grit, those flashes of talent just fizzle out.
That makes perfect sense. So grit is the engine. It keeps you moving toward that distant horizon. So then where does resilience fit in? Because that feels more like a response to setbacks.
That's a great way to put it. Resilience is the recovery system. It's the ability to cope with adversity, to withstand it, and crucially, to bounce back and carry on growing.
I found the analogy in the material really helpful here. We tend to think of resilience as a trampoline. You hit the bottom and you just spring right back up.
Mm-hmm.
But the research suggests it's more like a tough mountain climb with no trail map.
Exactly. You are going to face rock falls. You're going to lose the path, and you'll need time, strength, maybe even help from others to reroute, but the goal is always to keep climbing.
You don't just pop back to where you were.
No.
Yeah.
You take a breath, you reassess, and you find a better way to move higher. You're actually strengthened by that detour. The setback becomes knowledge.
That's a great distinction. Can we break resilience down a bit more?
For sure. You can think of it as mind and body. There's emotional resilience, which is all about staying optimistic and in control during a crisis. And then there's physical resilience, which is your body's ability to adapt and recover from stress or injury. But the best part is that resilience is a learned skill. You can absolutely build it by changing your thinking and your behaviors.
What about that persistence, that grit? Doesn't it sometimes get confused with just being stubborn? Refusing to quit even when a goal is clearly wrong?
That is a fantastic question, and that's where the growth mindset comes back in as the operational lever.
How so?
The sources show that resilience gets a huge boost from gaining perspective. And that process starts with, frankly, the painful act of accepting the negative things you just can't change.
The things outside your control.
Right. External circumstances, lost opportunities. Once you accept that they're real and unchangeable, you stop wasting energy fighting reality. And that frees you up to focus entirely on what you can control.
Your effort, your strategy, your attitude.
Exactly. And that shift in perspective naturally builds resilience. It empowers you. And if you want to actively develop that growth mindset, the sources lay out 5 really actionable steps.
Okay, let's make these tangible. Step 1 is focus on language.
This is about how you talk to yourself and to other people. So instead of praising fixed traits, like saying you're so smart, you praise the strategy and the effort that was used.
Because that's the thing you can control. When you praise effort, you're reminding yourself that you were the one who found the solution.
You got it. Okay, 2. Surround yourself with positivity. And this isn't just, feel-good fluff.
No, it's practical.
It is. Your thoughts direct your actions. So if you create an environment, people, media, whatever, where a growth mindset is the norm, you start seeing support everywhere instead of obstacles.
Okay, number 3.
3 is adopt flexible thinking. Rigidity is the enemy of resilience. A rigid person sees one path, and if it's blocked, they're just stuck.
Whereas a flexible person sees alternatives, they see opportunities, not just problems. And that breeds confidence.
Right, which feeds back into resilience. Then 4 is set purpose-aligned goals. So instead of trying to tackle some huge abstract life purpose,
which is overwhelming.
Totally. You break it down into small, concrete goals that are aligned with that bigger purpose. Every little win builds momentum and confidence.
And our last one.
Number 5, the crucial pause. Build time for reflection. Whether it's journaling, going for a walk, meditating. It creates awareness. It helps you assess your actions without judgment so you can adjust your strategy going forward.
And to make this really concrete, we're not just talking about, famous entrepreneurs. Grit is everywhere.
Oh, absolutely. Think about the first-year wrestler who loses every single match all season, but keeps showing up to practice every day.
Yeah, getting pinned every time.
Exactly. But they're there, learning one new thing, one new move. That's grit.
Or what about the middle-aged person who takes up karate?
Right.
They start out completely inflexible, can't even touch their toes.
But they never miss a class. They keep practicing, adapting, and months later they finally earn that first belt. The effort completely overrides the lack of natural talent.
It's that long-term commitment.
It is. Even something like learning a language. Someone decides they want to be fluent in 3 months, and through sheer disciplined effort, they do it. They persisted because the goal was meaningful to them.
Okay, so we've got the fundamentals. Now let's talk about the upgrade. The material introduces this GRIT acronym, which feels like 4 key dimensions to really maximize that potential.
This is where we move from just surviving a setback to actually leveraging it. The first G is for growth.
But we already talked about the growth mindset.
Right, but this is more active. It's the demonstrated ability to rise above the situation and proactively seek new insights to improve your approach. It's about learning fast.
Okay, got it. What's R?
R is resilience, but again, it's an upgraded version. It means being improved and strengthened by adversity, not just bouncing back to where you started.
So you integrate the lesson immediately.
You do. I stands for instinct. And we need to be clear here. This isn't about some mystical gut feeling. It means tapping into your self-awareness and real-time data to reassess your strategies and refine your goals.
So asking yourself, am I still chasing the right thing?
Exactly. Has a better version of this goal appeared? It's the self-correction mechanism. And finally, T is for tenacity. This is different from raw persistence.
How so?
This is strategic tenacity. It's a calculated, wholehearted push designed to make dramatic progress. It's focused effort for maximum impact, not just grinding away endlessly.
That distinction is so important, especially when we talk about bad grit versus good grit. Because I think we've all encountered someone with bad grit.
Oh, for sure. Bad grit is when you pursue goals in a way that hurts other people, or even yourself. Think of a leader who burns out their whole team.
Or just stubbornly sticks to a tactic that is clearly not working just because they refuse to admit defeat.
That's the perfect example. It's self-destructive. Good grit, on the other hand, is pursuing goals in a way that benefits you and others. It requires the wisdom to see when a tactic has failed and the flexibility to find a new route.
That ability to pivot is everything.
It's the difference between failing and failing, but then prevailing.
So, in the workplace, how do we cultivate that good grit in ourselves?
It all starts with meaning. You have to see your work as a vocation, not just a job. You practice, you work on your weaknesses, and you understand the positive impact you're having. That meaning is the fuel.
And for leaders.
Successful leaders instill grit by inspiring their teams, setting high standards, and, this is crucial, granting autonomy. That freedom lets people show their commitment and develop their own good grit.
Now let's connect this back to personal wellness, because the stakes here are pretty high. The research is very clear that a lack of resilience makes your mental health vulnerable.
It's like a shield. And when that shield is down, well, non-resilient people often feel victimized by their circumstances.
Well, the problem.
They do for long periods, and they're much more likely to turn to unhealthy coping strategies, alcohol, drugs, withdrawal, just to numb the stress.
So resilience is a protective mechanism against anxiety and depression.
A powerful one. It lets you find enjoyment in life, even when things are hard, because you're focused on what you can control.
This lined up with the traits of happy people we reviewed. Good self-esteem, self-control, optimism, sociability.
And here's the powerful part. The material suggests you can actually boost your happiness and resilience by practicing these things. The whole fake it till you make it idea really applies. If you act in resilient, optimistic ways, that attitude eventually becomes authentic.
So let's bring it all together with some clear behaviors. Resilient people accept the fight. They use adversity as a compass to find their true calling.
Right. The setback is just feedback. They're flexible like water wearing away a rock. And they suffer well. They accept that pain is part of growth.
And, maybe most importantly, they let go. They let go of old anger, fear, even people they don't need anymore to gain clarity.
Exactly. They live in the present. So for everyone listening, let's just run through a final action list. These are the 10 tips to increase resilience.
Let's do it. Number 1, be sociable. Don't isolate. Talk about your problems with people you trust.
2, take control. Don't wait around. Actively work on solutions and take action.
3, commit to decision-making. Doubt kills momentum. Make a decision and go. If it's wrong, you learn and make another one.
Okay, next up, momentum. 4, Expect change, be flexible, see interruptions as opportunities.
5. Move continuously forward. That often means doing the thing you fear most first.
Yeah.
Eat the frog. Just get it done.
Yes. 6. Learn about yourself. Keep a victory log of your accomplishments. Write down what worked. This fuels your confidence for the next challenge.
Okay, and the mindset shifts. 7. Banish negative self-talk, stop it in its tracks, and replace it with something positive.
8. Accept that bad things happen. See them as temporary, not permanent. Keep a future-oriented mindset.
9. Practice optimism. Actively count what you're thankful for every single day. It rewired your brain.
And finally, 10. Practice compassion. Nurture yourself. Focus on self-care, sleep, relaxation. You can't be resilient if you're running on empty.
So to wrap up, this key trio, grit, resilience, and the growth mindset, it means you won't fall at the first hurdle.
Right. You'll persist, and you'll convert that adversity into actual usable strength.
And here's the final thought I want to leave you with. The journey to success isn't really defined by how you handle winning. It's about your ability to reassess, to change your approach, and to make sure your drive is always good grit. It's about prevailing over the long term without destroying yourself or anyone around you.
Precisely. So here's a provocative question to consider. We know that resilient people nurture their networks and help others succeed. So how might intentionally focusing on lifting up the people around you actually be the fastest way to strengthen your own resolve and ultimately your own success? Something to chew on.
Hayward Podworks. 100 shows, one vision.
All right, this is Hayward Podworks, and that's today's episode. If this helped you, do me a favor, hit follow, leave a quick rating, and share it with one person who'd get value. Want the extras, links, and new drops? Check the show notes. Until next time, stay sharp, stay consistent, and keep building. Hayward Podworks. We'll talk soon.